Welcome to the ESI Africa studio. Today I'm speaking with Dhasi Naidoo and Damian Padachi from Ontec Systems. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it.
Damian, I'd like to direct this first question to you. Ontec has forged a new path recently, one that is smart. Why was this move taken, and how is Ontec bringing smart to the South African marketplace?
So about 2 years ago, or before that, we were known as Itron Metering Solutions South Africa, and we took a deliberate step to change the business to become a locally focused business based on our customers' needs, and to focus on what the needs they have that suits their requirements, and not to almost impose ours on them. So in that active resetting of the business, what we've done is we've changed the way we operate. And smart, by the way, was not a new innovation at the time. We were smart before, but smart's a very subjective term, and depending who you speak to, you can be semi-smart or full smart and so forth. So smart is now incorporated at a higher level. So we've taken the decision to become agnostic, to change the way we do things, and to focus on our customers' needs in a more efficient way.
Okay. And now looking at the topic of water and water security and what this means for utilities and IPPs within the African marketplace, especially looking in Cape Town and the current route, how are organizations having to adapt and modify their water usage, and what does Ontec Systems have available to assist these organizations?
Okay, thank you, Ashley. I think if you look at the problems we're experiencing today, it's not an overnight phenomenon. You know, it's a culmination of few fundamental issues, and I want to take a step back before we go forward. So if you look at municipalities or utilities today, you know, one of their major constraints or issues is infrastructure, and aging infrastructure being a critical component of that. And that alone is, with also metering being aging over the past decades, that alone is contributing to 40 to 50% of losses. So if you look at that, and it's not something that's overnight can be solved, there's no magic pill for that. So utilities are doing sort of solutions around helping understand where the problems are, so better spend their money. I think in Ontec, you know, we're looking at how do we help utilities identify where this network is a problem. So we start looking at water balancing, where we balance the network to look at what's coming from your reservoirs or your feed-ins into your system and your distribution system, and then look at how does that get to the consumer and where those losses are to balance the investment of spend on infrastructure. On the consumer side, they feeling the brunt of all the problems now, and this talks more to your question as well, is customers are the only way you can change things quickly, and consumers are feeling it with higher tariff increases, restriction of water, and they're starting to look at what does this mean for them. And day zero has been a huge eye-opener for a lot of these customers. And a lot of them are starting to implement their own solutions, from harvesting of water to looking at conserving. But the biggest problem is that they don't know what they're doing and how it's impacting them, because there's no quick reactive measure. So at Ontec, we're helping consumers to become smarter along with the journey with utilities. So with Ontec, we're giving them the ability to have an Ontec home, which is really around consumers having equipment or smarter technology to be able to see consumption real time or near real time, hourly consumption. So when you have a bath too long, you'll be able to see how much you used, or when you actually wash your clothes, you know exactly how it is. And this is helping them to be preventative of these huge bills that they're starting to see at the end of the month, and also some of them being disconnected from the network because there's rationing taking place. So what we're doing is, along the journey we've been helping utilities, we're helping consumers to also play an active role, but also know what they're doing and measure the impact of it. So we're launching some good smart technology for consumers at the end of this month. It's called Gauge It, and we would really start to help customers to get visual understanding of what changes and how it's helping them as well. So really excited about that. It's coming along as well.
And in terms of the large power user and the increasing electricity tariffs, what can you advise a large power user when it comes to better managing their electricity consumptions?
Yeah. So we've been helping utilities and their customers better manage it, as you mentioned. The key is that there is no one magic pill again. And what we do is a journey. Energy management and energy efficiency is a journey that you embark. So So we help customers firstly measure what's happening at their plant or their site, and if they measure it, we help them looking at can they optimize their tariffs or can they use the energy at a more appropriate time to suit their cost buying side of things. So what we look at is low-lying opportunities around energy efficiency, and it could be simple things from lighting or infrastructure that's in their plant, and that helps reduce their baseline consumption. Then we introduce methods of understanding where plant equipment starts using energy that's not adequate from a cost-saving perspective. And we help them to look at is the infrastructure aged that needs to be replaced, or can they manage it better in terms of a time of use to manage the demand profile of the customer. So it's basic steps without trying to go and cost a huge amount of money. And then as you go down the line is once you've optimized your energy consumption, reduced your baseline, you start to look at innovative solutions like you're starting to talk about renewables. A lot of, especially businesses today, are adopting solar PV, battery technology to help optimize their cost of energy, but also looking at the quality of supply that they're buying from the grid and the interruption of the supply thereof. So customers are starting to understand things better because it's not their core bread and butter stuff, and we're trying to give them baby steps, because if you try to do too much too quickly, you end up having not a sustainable plan. You have this plaster type remedy, and it's really about creating a sustainable energy program that we help them along the journey with a lot of measurement and verification that qualifies what they're doing, the spend, and what their return on investment is. So we're definitely playing a much more impactful role now in large businesses and consumers, where it's becoming very much a problem for them today.
Damian, this year at African Utility Week, water is given a great focus, especially as it plays a very intricate role within the power and energy space. What conversations would you like to see come out of this year's show, and how will it add to what you're doing at Ontec Systems?
So this morning's opening session was quite heartening, because the key messages I got from there were basically efficiency, sustainability, collaboration. And what we've seen is the industry problems are not unique to individual companies. It's generally across the board. So from our perspective, I think the technologies we have, the advice we can provide in the environment, we will be able to help consumers and the utilities to measure, monitor and control, especially the water in this case, which is a key focus area for us in Cape Town specifically. So from that perspective, I hope the message continues across the entire sessions that we have in the coming 2 days. And yeah, we see some tangible results as opposed to just talk. That's my view. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Ashley Turan, broadcasting live from African Utility Week.